What's up, guys? This is Adam the Bee's Knees, and today we get to go over the NPL Minors Draft recap. I got in NPL Minors last season like around a week. I want to say 3, maybe it was 4, because Parker had to drop out. And Parker is back this season, and we actually get to fight him week 1. But without him, I would have never gotten in this thing. So thanks to him, I am now here. Also, we did not get to draft our team last season. It was a very good team. It was very fun. We made some transactions for that fun rain. Mamoswine, Jirachi, Raikou, Clefable, all were really great mons to use. Glad Parker decided to draft what he did. But of course, this season I get to choose my own destiny and draft what I want. I was second in the draft placement. And I think it slipped quite a bit. I will say that, especially by the 2 people after me on the way back to me. That was not fun at all. So NPL Minor Z-Move rules real quick. As you can see, Mew there as my Z-Move captain. Mew is holding the Immunium Z because that is allowed first and foremost, and that all Z-Moves can be used on one mon only. Or if you decided to pick up a Z captain for under 10, you have the option of having 2 of those Pokemon be your Z move captains. So you can have 2 for 1. But of course, they both have to be under 10. And really, it's not worth it, in my opinion. And only one coach actually did. I think it was Fries or Fog who actually made 2 low mons his Z captains. But, still, that could be worthwhile. So I wanted Mew. I've wanted Mew forever. I've drafted Mew 1 time only, and that was in my first league, and I did win that league. So I wanted to try out Mew again, but that was like 3 years ago. So a lot has changed, especially with Immunium Z. I think that Mew can serve offensive. It's usually forced to play a lot of defensive roles, usually like Defog, Rocks being that bulky psychic type, that fighting resist. And I kind of think that my team can do all those roles without Mew. So Mew would be really whatever I want it to be. Hopefully more offensively, because I don't really want to place it in that non-offensive role. I think it could be really shine as a super strong special attacker. It can do physical attacks, Sword Dance and stuff. As far as Baton Pass goes, you cannot Quiver Pass or anything like that. You can pass speed and another stat, but they have to be 2 separate setup. Like I can do Agility, then Sword Dance, then Pass, but I can't do like Dragon Dance and then Baton Pass. But Mew is honestly, it's probably one of the best Draft League Pokemon, because it can do anything. It's your Volt Turn Core, it's Knockoff, Hazard Remover, Hazard Setter with Stealth Rock. It can be your bulky Psychic, and it can be a setup sweeper both physically and specially, and Baton Pass for days. And of course, Mew has literally every coverage move that one's heart could desire, and a ton of special like status moves. Not too sure which one of those I can make use of as Z moves, because it doesn't get like Memento or anything. But we'll see. Maybe I can do Z Rain Dance, Baton Pass, or something like that. Who knows? But so yeah, Mew stats very solid, 100 across the board. It gives that 100 speed. You do want to have a little bit faster than 100 speed. My team is very slow, but this Mew is definitely one of my fastest mons. But I'm glad to use Mew, and I think it's going to be a great addition on the team. Going off of that, I decided to pick up Skarmory, mainly because Skarmory is very good at what it does. It's not the most versatile mon, because it's going to set up hazards, maybe defog them away, whirlwind out, that kind of stuff. But as a defensive Pokemon, it is by far one of the best. 140 in defense is nothing to laugh at. It can eat hits for days. It's an excellent, it's an excellent like Landorus, Excadrill. It's a great ground check, for sure. And what Skarmory is really good at is setting up spikes and stealth rock, stuff that Mew doesn't have to do. And that way I can abuse those spikes and set up with other mons on my team. Yeah, so Skarmory is just going to be that defensive backbone that my team has. I expect to bring it quite a lot. I just think it's a very solid mon, one of the best mons that doesn't have a lot of variety, but who knows? It does have that weak armor or something like that, right? So I'm getting 8 trillion Discord messages, so I'll be right back. All right, so up next, honestly, because of what I'm in, the NPL does not like this mega, and realistically, I could have waited a long time to pick it up because I did want things like Buzzwole, which got sniped after I picked this pick, which was Mega Altaria. I did decide to go with Mega Altaria first, mainly because without it, I could afford losing Buzzwole more than I could afford losing Mega Altaria. I drafted the team around Mega Altaria when I was building it in the first place. Of course, there were some other Megas I was thinking about, but once I decided Altaria, that's how I built the rest of my team. And Altaria, what it does, I think it's better than people give it for. Of course, it was fantastic in like X, Y, or S leagues, and it kind of died down now. But you know, it still does well what it does. Yes, Pixelate's a little bit nerfed, but it's a phenomenal setup sweeper in Dragon Dance. It can especially, it hits very hard specially. Don't forget, it has Draco Meteor and Outrage that people don't remember about. Very good defensive Pokemon as well, with stuff like Cotton Guard, Roost, Teal Bell. So mainly another cleric for the team, a physical sweeper, whereas Mew is more of a special sweeper. Great baton pass fodder as well. I think that Mega Altaria, hopefully I can use it very well this season and prove that it's not as bad as some of the other people think it was. So up next, I wanted Buzzwole and I wanted Nihilego. I kind of had like the wheel pick thing going on because I was second. And so it was coming back to me. I picked Mew, then I went with Skarmory Altaria, so it's all the way down, all the way back. The Uzi, who picked right after me, picked up Buzzwole. This is not the first time Uzi will snipe me, especially on the way back to me. So I was very upset. Buzzwole definitely was a key part of my draft. And I was very mad at him picking up Buzzwole. But still, I was like, okay, you know, I'm going to pick up Nihilego now because I still have that pretty much the guaranteed next pick. And I did pick up Nihilego. So Nihilego is also a sweeper in its own right, just by killing things. Its stat distribution is quite nice. Its defense sucks, but Skarmory can help with that. Fastmon over the 100 speed, of course not the fastest thing in the world, but very good Spadef, so HP Grounds will not take this thing out if you EV it right. Decently diverse move pool, Toxic Spike Layer as well, and it is a grounded poison type, which, yes, stuff like Wheezing, stuff like Golbat, they're nice, but grounded poison types are a little bit better just because they take over that Toxic Spike stuff. So I decided to pick up Nihilego. My team is a little bit more specially skewed at the moment, especially because Altaria can be a special attacker and Skarmory's not really an offensive mod. So my next two picks definitely help build up that physical makeup of the team. But Nihilego, I think, is a pretty terrific mon. I'm excited to use a Gen 7 mon. This is one of my 2 Gen 7 mons I wanted to use, or I have to use now because Buzzwole would have been 3. So yeah. Also, this was a point draft system, so there were not that many grass types. They were all kind of going. I'm gonna pick this next pick. A lot of grass types were gone. And by what I wanted later on, I could have probably expanded this to a Shaman or something. But I also wanted this Pokemon just because it's a Gen 7 Mon and a Rapid Spinner. So I picked up Serena. I think Serena is really good. It's a great cleric. It's a Momentum Mon in U-turn. So I have Mew and this thing, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 Mons, maybe Skarmory's 5 for Momentum. So I have lots of Momentum on the team, especially with my other picks. Queenly Majesty is pretty good. Blocks Priority, which is always nice. Very great physically offensive stats paired with the move pool of Play Rough, High Jump Kick, all that stuff. Drop Kick, lowers attack, which is very nice. You know, it's not the strongest move, but it's a good physical grass move. Not too slow, not too terribly slow, and all around quite nice in its bulk. Serena definitely is a nice Mon to pick up. I think it's going to be a crucial glue to the team. A good Rapid Spinner. Another reason why I wanted to get it, just because Skarmory, it's going to set up hazards. It doesn't want to take them away with Defog. So Serena is definitely nice in that aspect. So yeah. Up next, I wanted a great wall breaker on the team, and I wanted more physically offensive Mons. I was going to go with Landorus Incarnate. That was not Sheer Force, but it doesn't hit so hard. I'm not drafting Sand or anything, so it's more of a setup Mon in the dual stance. So I wanted a Mon that I guess can set up, but it's better at a Baton Pass recipient, but in its own right, it hits very hard, and that's Diggersby. With huge power, it is pretty absurd. It adds priority. Besides Mew, adds my second priority Mon. Return Earthquake smacks a whole lot of stuff, mainly resisted by like very bulky ghost types or grass types. That Skarmory should be able to deal with quite nice. Diggersby is a great. It can set up definitely with the dual dance, just like Landorus Incarnate can. I think Diggersby might be able to do a little bit better just because it hits so much stronger. It has a better priority in the term of stab, quick attack. This also adds as a Momentum Mon and a knockoff user. So Diggersby is going to come in, hit things hard, maybe get a Dragon Dance boost with Mew. Not Dragon Dance, but like Swords Dance Agility Pass. It's bulky enough to take some hits too. And just to smack things really hard. So that is Diggersby. Up next, I wanted my water type. There was a lot still on the board, I think. It was a month ago. So yeah, I've had this draft for a while. This is actually my second draft out of the 3 I was doing. But I went with Jellicent just because it's a nice water absorb Mon too. So stuff like Suicune, Keldeo aren't the biggest issues to my team. It is Ghost type, which is a boost and a hindrance. Of course, there's pursuit options and knockoff, as well as spin blocking, which is great. It's always nice to have, especially when you have spikes and toxic spikes. Its offensive is decently nice. It gets the Hex Willow stab, or Hex Willow combo, and a bunch of different other special attacking moves. Jellicent is just a nice bulky water type. It's not the bulkiest, of course, but it serves nice as almost like another part of the glue on my team. I draft bulky teams. This is definitely a bulkier team. UBC team is not that bulky, but anyway, Jellicent is here. So up next, I did pick this up in the UBC. Then I picked it up in minor. Picked it up first in minors. UBC, I just kind of had to get it. But we have Blaziken, and I love Blaziken. I hated it as a kid. Pigo and Mudkip, they were so much cooler. But Blaziken is very good. Of course, not speed boost, but Choice Scarf to just offensive Blaziken, especially physically offensive, hits really hard. Superpower, High Jump Kick, Flare Blitz, and of course you have Baton Pass for Momentum, and Nasty Plot and Sword Dance. Just double checking. Oh, it does not get Nasty Plot, but it gets Vacuum Wave. But Blaziken is really nice. Another knockoff mon as well. Lots of those on my team. Just a physically offensive fire type that provides momentum and just a little bit of more wall breaking. I have Diggersby and Blaziken as two great physical wall breakers, in my opinion. A very strong stab, and of course a lot of special offense as well. So I wanted Sneasel. Uzi was 2 picks after me. Ace was 1 pick after me, and Ace took no. Ace was, yeah, he was 1 pick after me. And on the way back, of course, not on the way forward, he takes Sneasel. So right before he gets to me, he takes up Sneasel. And I'm very upset with this because that throws off my last 3 Pokemon I wanted. So I gotta go a little bit cheaper on my later picks. But that means I wanted Sneasel because it's fast. And look at my team. So I did not pick a fast mon up next, but I wanted Sneasel mainly because of Ice Stab, which is very nice. Priority, Knockoff, and Pursuit. So arguably I did pick up a mon that is better at Priority, Knockoff, and Pursuit. And that is Bisharp. Bisharp is a great mon. It is Defiant. So if they want to defog my spikes and toxic spikes, they are happy to. It's a Swords Dance booster. It's a great knockoff mon. It's a lovely recipient of Baton Pass. And it is a very offensive steel type. I have a defensive steel type and an offensive steel type, which, you know, is very nice for teams that are weak to steel because Skarmy will not hit them too terribly hard with Iron Head. But Bisharp definitely will. 125 attack is very nice. Bisharp actually has a lot of, well, not a ton, but good amount of coverage moves like Stone Edge, Cycle Gut, all that good stuff. Sucker Punch, very nice priority on the team. So this is my 1, 2, 3, 4th priority user. So yeah, Bisharp I think will work quite nice. Pursuing things is very key, especially bulkier psychic types and stuff that my team, Diggersby can smack it and Bisharp can smack it upside the head, but you know, bulky psychic types are always a nuisance. But great fairy killer as well, so hopefully Bisharp will put in some work for us. And I need an electric type now. Of course, Raichu was on the plate. Raichu's 110 speed, but I was like, I didn't really want Raichu. I don't like it. It's so frail. It really is gonna come in. I actually think Electrode is a bit better. Raichu's great and all. It has great coverage moves because of all the stupid Pikachu events. But, I wanted to give this mon I was actually looking at all the other teams because their drafts are almost complete because it is points. And I was like, okay, I think I'm going to give this mon a try first and see how it works. And that is Electabuzz. Electabuzz is honestly quite nice. It's better than Electivire in my opinion. It's faster too, 105 speed, so it is my fastest mon on the team. Which is not that great, but it's fine. 95 special attack's nice, but mainly it is very bulky under Eviolite. It's a great Volt Switcher. It's just a nice physically defensive, not necessarily physically defensive, but just a bulkier Electrode type that is a Momentum mon, and I think can really be placed on any team, especially for a mon that's only like 4 points. So that is Electabuzz. I'm actually very excited to use Electabuzz. So we'll see how that one works out. So last pick, it was either a bug type or an ice type. So I was like, there's not that many good bug types out there. There's Crustle. I'm not sure if that would have been over budget, but I did happen to pick up Crustle on my other draft and I didn't really need it. So I went with an ice type and I was like, okay, there's Regice, there's Jinx, Jinx is over, okay. Too much weak to Pursuit, didn't want Jinx. So there was one more. Regice is a little slow, so I went with Articuno. Articuno, I'm excited to use. The big push for Articuno was Freeze Dry. I think if it's not the best ice type in the world, like Pure and Black, Weavile, Mamoswine. If you're gonna go a lower tier ice type that's a special attacker, you gotta have Freeze Dry on it. It just has Freeze Dry, because ice types don't have the greatest coverage in the world, and Freeze Dry makes up for that because it can kill water types. So yeah, Articuno, it's bulky, it is a legendary, it has nice stats total. Defog, of course, with that 4x Selvog weakness, but I do have Rapid Spin and 2 Defog Mons, so shouldn't be that much of an issue. It does get U-Turn and Hurricane and all that jazz. It's I think that Ice Beam and Freeze Dry are very nice additions to the team. I think Ice actually hurts a lot of Miners coaches drafts. Hurricane is great, don't really want to miss. I think it gets Air Slash, so I don't know what I'll run. I hate missing, so there is that. But yeah, that is Articuno. So the team itself, I always try to shoot for the maximum amount of Mons, which is 11 in this league. I do have 11 Pokemon. Filled up all my points. I'm very satisfied with that. If I need to make transactions, I will. I don't think I will. 2 big snipes were, there was 3. Buzzwole and Sneasel were the biggest, and then I really wanted Rotom Heat. I ended up getting Electabuzz plus Blaziken, which is perfectly fine. I'm not too upset about that. I really would have loved to get the Buzzwole and the Sneasel, but unfortunately I did not be able to get those guys. So instead I got a better Dark type and Articuno, which is perfectly fine. So, but yeah, that is my team. Hopefully it puts in some work. It's bulky, it's a little slow. You know, Trick Room's always cool, so there is that. Yeah, I think that's about it. I battle Parker week 1, which is like in a long time from now. Like 2 weeks from now. Parker's a great guy. I'm pretty sure he's a very good battler. I haven't really seen him battle, so there is that. I don't have a team guide yet. I'm going to battle Riz for UBC real soon, and then deal with Parker. But yeah, looking forward to the league. It has some great competition. It has stuff people like David, who beat me in playoffs. David did not make it to majors. He is now, he's technically the best in minors in terms of ranking. And then we also have George, who is the 2-time GBA winner in my division, which is super fun. His team's not that good, but his teams are never that good, and he still ends up winning. So, but yeah, so there's definitely David and George. All the other minors guys besides Mono, Verd, and Rob, thank God, right? And the additions are Mio, Parker, George, and I think Mio, Parker, George, Carney, and Cloud, who were relegated from major. I think that's all the new guys. The old guys are still here: Ace, Jar, Aster, Fog. Everyone's here except for Sky, who had to step out. So, yeah, expect all those guys. Shout out to Trev for running this league and keeping me in it. Hopefully we can make it to majors. If not, no big deal. I'm just trying to have fun, improve my Sun and Moon record, get better experience with this and the UBC. UBC, I'm actually, you know, if I didn't get into majors, I'll at least fight half of them in UBC. There is that. But anyway, I'll see you guys later. I've been rambling on for about 20 minutes. Excited to use Mew again. Excited to use Altaria. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys in week 1 of whichever league uploads first. Bye-bye.